Ran is a film from 1985 directed by Akira Kurosawa. The film is a reworking of Shakespeare's King Lear, and it is set in 16th century Japan. This is a late period work from Kurosawa, and it's a film that is also in color. This is the first film I've seen from Kurosawa that has been in color, and it is a visual treat to the eye. I'm used to seeing his black and white stuff, which is also shot really well, but this one, the colors pop off the screen. You can really tell he's just having a blast with the color. Like I said earlier, this movie is based on the Shakespeare play King Lear, but for those of you who don't know, I'll just tell you what it's about. It's about an elderly warlord. He retires and he hands over his empire to his three sons. However, he vastly underestimates how the newfound power will corrupt his sons and cause them to turn on each other and possibly him. The image you see on the screen is from probably my favorite scene in the entire movie. It's such a powerful and expressionistic scene. It's haunting for the viewer and specifically the main character, as this is the scene where really the themes start to come into fruition. The movie is all about greed, family betrayal, and the dark side of human nature. Money and power will corrupt a man, and the main character sees the effects of power taking over his sons. It's definitely a Shakespearean tragedy. Seeing his sons betray him for power really puts the main character in a state of disillusionment and madness. And by the way, the makeup team deserves a lot of credit because the look of this maddened lord here is just iconic. The film has a lot of amazing battle scenes. He films in a really wide aspect ratio, and the colors on all of the soldiers' uniforms, the flags they're holding, and when they clash into each other, it's certainly cinematic. The battle scenes here are certainly more rooted in expressionism rather than realism, like Ridley Scott's Gladiator. In Gladiator, Ridley Scott really shoots it in a realistic way, and you can really see a lot of the fighting up close and personal. You see men fighting each other hand to hand. In this one, you really just see a bunch of horses riding in, a lot of arrows being thrown, and then occasionally he'll cut to some aftermath of blood and piles of dead men. Going into this movie, I thought it was going to be way more about the battle scenes rather than the intimate dramatic moments. You do get a couple of awesome battle scenes that are filmed in such a haunting and evocative way, but most of the movie is dialogue between a few characters here and there, which helps this film feel like a rich novel. Ran is an incredible, epic film, so rich in its imagery and thematic material that it'll blow you away. I read where Akira Kurosawa was basically blind during the filming of this movie because he was getting up there in age and his sight was just going away. So with the help of his assistant directors, he told them how to block and frame each shot. He got an Oscar nom for this movie for Best Director while he was basically blind. He's just one of the greats of all time, and I'm so glad I finally watched Ran. It's been on my watch list for so long. I've had the Studio Canal Blu-ray in my collection for such a long time. The movie, I think, is such a spectacular film. It's a lot more meditative than I was expecting going in, and I think this movie is much more of a masterpiece than I can really know during my first viewing. I'm definitely going to have to watch this a couple more times, and I'm sure on the next watch it's just going to hit even harder for me knowing the style and what Kurosawa was kind of going for with this one. Once again, this is a great film by Akira Kurosawa. I can't wait to see other movies I have not seen from him. Comment below your favorite Kurosawa film if you have one, and if you haven't seen Ran, go watch it and come back to this video and let me know what you think.